should update this, huh? Good, I look like a hobo. Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Talk EV on almost every Sunday at 7:20 p.m. Central European Time. I hope you're all doing great. I'm doing amazing. It was a busy weekend. As always, I do that. These days it's always busy and it's fine. I hope you're all doing fine. We're gonna look at we're playing the light game at some point, but we're doing it earlier. We noticed that the other day. Earlier is always better. We're gonna look at some news that I found, and then the main topic is my Hyundai Kona 2024 130 kilometers an hour range test, which was higher consumption than expected, and also lower range than expected, but which comes hand in hand. And we're gonna go through everything. Who's here? G is here. Nobody. Nice name. Groem is here. Always appreciated. Photostorm is here. A lot of Patreons and YouTube members. It says it here. Become a Patreon or YouTube member. You get always videos first, and you get privilege of new things that's coming up, or if I get to know something, I will pass it on always to my Patreons and my YouTube members, channel members. They're awesome. They support me. I try to support them, give them something back. That's how it is. So join. It's awesome. And I think Patreon starts at €1 or so, $1. And channel membership at $2.94.99. I don't even know. But it's not a lot, and it helps me a lot to achieve the dream at some point to be 100% full-time YouTuber. That would be awesome at some point. It's getting closer. There's a plan ahead. I have to discuss it with patrons and members at some point. Well, they heard what happened at work, so they know, but not everything. So let's get into the news a bit. Then we talk what happened last week. Then we talk what will happen this week or the next 2 weeks. I don't think there will be a live stream next Sunday. And then we talk about the Kona. Where are we? Here we are. First news. BMW i5 will be delivered to customers and will be available for test drives at dealership this weekend on... Oh, it says from 21st, so it was already. I thought it was on the 28th. I saw different news. So this is... Oh, it's different countries get it on the 28th. So that's cool. You can get the i5. I think it's the i5 40 or 50, and then the M60 with the M60 has the 600 something horsepower all-wheel drive. I saw the car at the IAA in Munich, sat in it, and it is an i7, just smaller. I just drove the i7 for a week. An i7 was great. What the i5 has, and which I would love to test at some point and see how that is. i5 has a new kind of self-steering feature that by law in Germany is totally fine. That on the highway you don't have to touch the steering wheel anymore. So on a country road, yes, and city and so on, but if the car notices you're on the highway, you just put in the cruise control and the self-steering, it will steer for you, pass the car for you, and all of this. You just sit there and do this. You still have to be there. I'm sure there are sensors to see if you're looking at the road. So if you do like this, I'm sure there's a warning. It will disable all of this. Pretty sure. But it's a step forward, and I want to see how that is. Does it work? How does it work well? Is it weird? And all of this, that would be a nice thing. Then next, Citroën has showed the new EC3, a smaller car for very low price. They say WLTP in 320 kilometers. So that's the range. About the e-up and stuff like this, maybe even a bit more, for 23,300 euros, and from 2024 it should be even more cheaper than that. What else do we get? Does it say anything? 44 kilowatt hour battery. That's not that much smaller than the E208 and the Corsa E and stuff like this. That's okay. Can be charged with up to 100 kilowatt. That's okay. Oh, hair in the mouse. And they say 20 to 80% in 26 minutes. That's fine. And 11 kilowatt AC. No, yes. It takes 2.5 hours. No, it's a 7. No, didn't I see that it's only 3.5 kilowatt in some German news, which is not. Maybe it's the cheapest version of this car. It's very possible that this was this. Then next, Smart is bringing the Smart #1 also with another battery now, a smaller battery, so it can be cheaper. It's 5,000 euros cheaper, starts at 37,500 euros in Germany, and it will be a smaller battery. It will be a 49 kilowatt hour battery with net capacity 47, where the normal version has a 66 gross and 62 net capacity. I still have not driven the Smart #1 more than on those two dealers trips for a few hours. I would love to do a real range test and stuff, because what I felt that it's not amazingly efficient, but I could be wrong. And yes, but I want to see how it is. And charging too, it says 130 kilowatt charging DC with the small battery. That's cool. And the AC, very famously, the normal version, normal battery can charge with 22 kilowatt. Does it say anything if this is here the same? Doesn't say, but I'm guessing if it's cheaper, they try to save on it. Then Volkswagen started more production in Zwickau, in Sachsen, where my ID3 was built, for example, where they built ID3, 4, 5, Cupra Born, and the Audi Q4. And the production was slowed down in the last few weeks, but now since October 2nd, from October 2nd, ID3 Cupra Born was totally on hold. And where is it? Does it say when it started? Is it now? And shouldn't it say somewhere? Well, it doesn't say. I would love to see that. But it started again. I don't know when exactly when. And there will also be, I think they have Christmas off and stuff like this. And they had the big holidays in August, September. That's in all factories of Volkswagen. It always happens. This where you can't reach anyone at Volkswagen and nothing is being done. I have noticed that. Then Stellantis has tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central European, what is standard time? It's Britain time, right? They will show 6 brands, 1 Force. They will show new cars. Stellantis is Opel, Peugeot, Citroën that we just seen, and there's more. Well, it says it down here, eh? Vauxhall, which is Opel. What's the thing in the middle? Isn't it Peugeot? Yeah, it's Peugeot. And Fiat. Yeah, they will show more Car Ambition Day. That's awesome that this is happening. They're putting out a lot of cars, I have to say. Well, it's a few brands. And let's look at our Ionity map. As always, Portugal 1, Spain 1. France is so full, but still getting more. Britain is getting more. Northern Ireland still has not finished. Those two are standing here for a while. Scotland gets a few more. Up here, Denmark, a few more. This is new. I charged here before. I charged here. Or was it here? I can't remember. No, I charged here, I think, and here. I can't remember exactly. It was a while ago. Sweden is getting better up here. That's good. Finland the same. Norway is full, but they were getting one big in Oslo. That's awesome. Germany is getting a lot. I mean, 2 around Munich. I say it every time. But when you look at that, that's a lot of chargers that are coming. Awesome. It's too bad that there's no page where it shows me the new chargers from all brands. I would love to see that. That would be so much fun. What is planned, what's coming, what just finished, what is in construction. I would love to see that. It would be so amazing. Let's see what you guys wrote. The BMW system sounds very similar to Blue Cruise on the Ford Mustang Mach-E. The new smart battery is also LFP. Hi, hello. May I suggest that as your channel is called Battery Life, you mentioned the battery chemistry in your car reports? Yeah, you already said that. No, I'm Battery Life, and I will look into it if it's very important or necessary, but I do range test and charging test. It should be reflected by that at some point. And who knows if they change the chemistry, even though you know the chemistry, how it will be in your car. Yes, LFP is better in the winter, but still we have to see how it happens. We'll see. So far, battery chemistry didn't bother me at all. It was more about the car. This is maybe a bit too nerdy for me. We'll see. This week the battery of my parents' car ice died and they called me to come and help jumpstart it. Is it possible with an electric car? Can you jumpstart an ice car with the 12-volt battery of EVs? You should be able, because it's also a 12-volt battery. There should be no problem. If it's a diesel, it's possible that it's not enough power, because a diesel needs a lot of 12-volt power to get it all started. I got 2 years extended warranty on a Megane E-Tech. Yeah, you told me the other day. That's awesome. So now a total of 3 years from now on. That's cool. Look forward to an EX30 review. I would love to do that. Volvo wrote me an email once that I'm on the list for the February test that they want to do with the Volvo EX30, but then I got another email where it was more like, we'll see if we can invite you if there are not enough people. So I don't know if I will be invited. When does Walter lease end? When do you plan to drive while you wait for ID7 to arrive? What do you plan to drive while... so I can extend the lease. I already extended the lease from Walter by 3 months, from September 10th to December 10th. And I'm in talks with Volkswagen if my ID7 arrives before that. If not, I have to extend it again for a month or something. I hope that's possible. I don't even know yet, but I will call the deal at some point. Battery life is in life with battery electric vehicles. Not I'm going to access battery longevity in every video. Nicely said. Can you charge the ICE 12 volt but don't start the ICE? You can overload the DC. Ah. See, take his, take his, and if always look at the manual of your EV to see if this is possible. By the way, when we talk about manual, I thought of doing a Volkswagen ID7 manual video like we did with the ID3 3.5 years ago, and someone at Volkswagen got me a VIN from an ID7, but it doesn't work. There's no ID7 manual online yet, so damn it. We have 90 people here. You want to play the like game and then we just continue liking? Let's do this. You know the like game. I'm counting down from 3 to 0 and everyone is pressing the like game at the same time. Then we see the number going up. It's so much fun. I have no EV. I was just curious. Yet. Yet. Here's what every button in the ID7 does. Exactly. Nothing. There's only one button. Let's do the like game. I count down and then you take your tablet, your phone or whatever. So for sure you can press the like, because it helps the channel a lot. It will, the algorithm for YouTube, it spreads the video out and more people are watching and then channel is growing and so on. Let's do this. 3. Come on, focus on the hand. Sees the eyes, that's why. 2, 1, and like. Let's see if that works. We have 15 likes right now. 92 people are here. You see me in a delay. I see the counting down now. Oh, so you see the counting down now. And I'm already 20 seconds ahead. I'm in the future. Let's see. 17, 25. That's the stuff. I remember that you enjoyed driving the original Kona except for front-wheel drive wheel spin. How does the new Kona compare to old Kona, Walter and Nero? We talk about it in a second. 49. Come on, we can get to 60. 45, 54, 45, 54. That's great. Thank you very much for joining the game. That was fun. Hello, Cedric. Nice name. Is Ellie now getting more expensive all over Europe? I can't have monthly fee now with low charging price at Ionity anymore. I think that changes all the time. So every few months there's a change in price. So that's really hard. It's very hard to keep track of. It really is. Who emails me at this hour? eBay advertising. Delete that. So let's talk about what happened in the last week since we had our nice live stream. On Tuesday, the Hyundai Kona 2024 came and I was very excited. I almost didn't take it because on Thursday also got the Audi e-tron Q8. And it's the first car that Audi has ever given me. I asked Audi for a press car for years. This looks weird. I think it's the other way around. No, it's all crooked. Yeah, and you can see hair. You don't want that. And they always said no, and finally they caved in and gave me a car. So of course I wanted to do a great video with them, with the Audi, and many videos, and represent what it is and everything. And I think they didn't want to give me one because I drove the original Audi e-tron just from a dealer and I didn't like it at all. But I only had a few hours and I couldn't get the settings. Tesla has better deal than Ellie right now. I can't believe that. But it also changes. In Germany, prices for Tesla charging already went up again. So charge prices are like gas prices, always changing. Yeah. Well, because of the stupid stuff that's happening in the world. It was pretty stable for a long time. And now it's, in Germany especially, there was the price went up extremely. Then government stepped in and said this is the limit more you can be for kilowatt hour. And then it was up and down for a while. I don't know what it is now. I still pay the same price since before the war, before they changed the prices. I was lucky. But I also got new prices, but they're the same. So it didn't change. I still pay 28 cents, which is a lot, per kilowatt hour at home. But renewable energy, when I got it the first time, so 2 years ago, oh, I don't know when it was, almost 2 years ago, this was very expensive for Germany. Then it got really cheap because everyone else, the prices went up. I was lucky. And now I'm in the middle again. For Europe, it's still expensive, but that's Germany, how it is. Yes, so, but Hyundai contacted me. Hey, we got a Kona press car since this week, and we can offer you a car next week. Do you want one? And I was like, oh my God, I have the Audi. I can have two cars at the same time. And I asked them, is it possible to get it right after the Audi? So I didn't say Audi, I just said in November. And they said, no, the next time it would be in February. And so I had to take it because it's so early. I looked it up and there are a lot of Hyundai Kona videos, the typical ones where journalists just go around and look at everything and drive a bit and blah, blah. But no one has tested the car. So charging, consumption, range, and all of this, and how is the self-steering and everything. And that's what I did this week. I took Wednesday off, so the day after, and did my range test that you already have seen. Then on Friday I did the 110 kilometers an hour test. I did my review video, half of it, and today I did the end of it. So I'm doing 4 videos with the Kona, and they're all filmed but not edited. I have to continue editing them, but we talk about it how it is. I enjoyed your comparison of old Kona to ID3. They were surprisingly close in size. Does the new Kona feel bulkier than Walter? Yes, it does. But it's also because of the 19-inch wheels that it has on. Overall, the new Kona looks bigger, feels bigger. When you drive it, it's not, and when you sit inside, I haven't sat in a Kona for a while. I don't know how the space was in the rear, but it's still not amazing. So ID3 has more space in the rear seats than than the Kona, the new Kona. But we talk about the Kona in detail in a second. So Kona arrived on Tuesday, tested it on Wednesday. On Thursday, on Wednesday, the BMW iX1, where you haven't seen a video yet, even though I already edited them, and my Patreons and members, so join, already seen the videos, and but I haven't uploaded it yet because everything is, it's too much right now. I even have a BMW i7 video, another one that hasn't been published yet. So I'm 4 videos behind or so. And then the old Kona in terms of size, that's true. So that got picked up on Thursday. Audi Q8 e-tron came. Then Friday, like I said, I did my test. Yesterday I took the day off, and today I filmed with the Audi and the Kona after each other. It was a busy week, exciting week though. And what's coming this week is, so I try to edit and give you all the videos, but I won't be filming this week at all. Because first of all, I'm busy at work. I don't have time to test anything during the week. And on Friday, extremely early, I have to get up at 4, maybe even earlier. I'm flying at 6:45, flying to Nice. Kia invited me to drive the new Kia EV9 in south of France. So I'm excited about that. I will, like I said, be there at 8 something, then I have to wait, and at 12 or so I can drive the car for a few hours, then bring it back, and then go to the hotel, dinner, sleep, and then next morning I fly home at 8. So I'm home back in Munich at 11 at noon. And then I'm home at 2 hours, 1.5 hours later. I will park the Audi Q8 e-tron in at the airport. I go with that car. Yes, and then that's why most likely next Sunday there won't be a live stream. And from Thursday on, after work, I also have a week off. My coworker just wrote me today she would be in Monday and Tuesday and then have 3 days off. Then I have a week off. Then she has a week off. But my coworker wrote me today that she has COVID. She won't be in this week either. So we'll see about that, how that is, because there are big projects that she's on. Maybe we'll see who's doing that. In US we have state of charge and out of spec reviews that do the charging range testing. Keep up the good work for Europe, as you have many cars we do not. Thank you very much. Yeah, out of spec is amazing. State of charge, I don't know. Never heard of them. But I met Kyle from Out of Spec Reviews. Very nice guy. We did a video together, one on his channel, one on mine. 3 cars in 2 weeks. Remember when we were fighting to get one press car? That's true. Week off, come see me. If we are in Nice, we can see each other. I think you mentioned that there will be an event to show ID7 GTX, or maybe was an estate that you won't attend. When is that? I was invited to test the production version of the ID7, but I declined because, first of all, I get mine hopefully a few weeks later, I don't know, and 6 weeks, 5 weeks later, and it's also in the week I have off and where I'm already at the EV9, so it would be in 2 weeks where I would be attending that, and it would be the estate that I can look at but not drive. Most likely inside it's the same car. I'm missing out on that video and on an ID7 drive video, but I also drove the ID7 already. It was a prototype, but I drove it. And I also looked at the plan they had with the on the ID7 test, and it's not, again, I cannot do a range test, I cannot do a charging test. I would just get into the car. Nice would be nice. Can just get into the car, drive to somewhere to eat, and then drive to the hotel, and next morning the same thing back, and then go home. And that didn't sound very interesting to me. So if they would give me a car in Wolfsburg and say, here you have the car, drive whatever you want for 5 hours and then bring it back, that would be amazing. I would have done that. And I did that with the ID4 back in the day. That was awesome. I don't need to fly somewhere, which takes a lot of time. Well, going to Wolfsburg takes also a lot of time, but then I can't drive that much and not the interesting thing what I'm doing. So this is for the normal people. State of Charge is a good channel. I can recommend it. Is continued deep dive into charging technology, home and commercial. Cool. So I will be doing that, and then on, I don't know, what Thursday. When is it? I think is it November 2nd? Yeah, November 2nd. Audi Q8 e-tron will be picked up again. I have it for 2 weeks, and maybe Cindy and I will go on a little trip and go somewhere with it. She already sat in the Q8 and she likes the seat. It was only 5 minutes, so but she said that the seat in front is very nice and round, and that felt very good. She said it looks a bit cluttered with a lot of stuff in there, and it's true. That the e-tron feels a bit old technology-wise inside what is there, but it has a lot of pros. I drove it a lot the last few days, and today I did a range test, and a nice review of the Kona. We added it to our front page and to the EV database. Keep up the good work and share EV technology knowledge. Hey, thank you. Anytime. Okay, thanks for the feedback. Seems like Volkswagen pushed the date forward when they released the ID.7 GTX and the state version once again. Well, this is just the show when the release date is. I have no idea. It could be month. I mean, I drove the ID.7 prototype and looked at the production version of the ID.7 in March, and it will come out, I don't know, November, December. Greetings from Malta. EV take-up is picking up here in the island. Watch your vids. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Ray. Yes, so this is what's coming up. What else? No, that's it. Let's talk about the Kona. If you haven't seen my Hyundai Kona video, we talk about everything, what I think about the car. There will be a big video, a long video, where I go through everything, infotainment system, cockpit, what it can do now, the charging, range tests and everything, driving, self-steering, cruise control, things that have changed, things that are annoying now, things that are better now. There will be a big video. I edited half of it. I filmed the rest today. I will edit it soon and then put it up this week. Also the 110 kilometers an hour range test, the charging test, which was weird in the beginning. As you have seen in my range test video, on that day I couldn't charge the Hyundai Kona at a DC charger at Ionity. I could charge it at a hypercharger, but not at Ionity. It always said it just didn't do anything. It didn't lock the CCS plug. It just didn't work, and I tried it on a few Ionity chargers, on 2 or 3, and it didn't work. And I found out what it was, and it's stupid. It's that plug and play is on, a plug and charge is on. So in other cars, ID.3 and now, or any ID car, and now also in this Audi, when you have not registered how you pay for plug and charge in the car, in the app, with a contract or something, you cannot enable plug and charge. In the Kona, you can. So you can go into the charging menu, it says plug and charge, you activate it, and then when you go to a charger, that even though you use the card before, which is weird, so before you plug in, you use a charger and it says accepted, and then you plug in, it doesn't charge. So I deactivated the plug-in charge, plugged it in the other day, worked fine. So it was that. I think so. I don't think there was a problem with the car because, again, half an hour before on that Wednesday when I did the test, I charged it 2 times on a hypercharger and it worked perfectly. Then I went to Ionity on different chargers, didn't work. After this not working, I went to a different hyperchargers and it worked right away. So I really think it's that plug and play. So don't activate it on in your car when you don't have it registered, or maybe it's not working right now. I don't know what it is, but again, I have a Hyundai account, so I can see the car in my app here. I have the BlueLink app, and it shows me range and everything, and we go through what you can do with the car. And I see that it's at 78%. Come on, 78% there. It doesn't show the range. You have to refresh, and then you need your pin and everything, and then it shows the range at some point. It works, but the app has great features, but sometimes it's also a bit annoying. But overall, it's a great experience. But let's talk about Kona and the range test. I found something out. I saw it before, but I totally forgot. But I found something out after the range test, what affects the range of the Kona immensely. And I hope I can see, I have it on the, do I have it here? That would be awesome. Hyundai Kona, yeah, it is. I have it here. And I can show you. Let's zoom in. Where's my zoom? Zoom. There it is. So here I have the price list for the new Hyundai Kona. And if I go, it shows all the prices for Germany, and it also shows the data. So really all the data you can think of. Where is it? So charging time, blah, 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 and everything, weight, the size. Did I even say the right size? 1589. Yeah, the length was the right thing, didn't I? I hope I put in the right numbers. I should take this. But there's one number that's very interesting to me, and I wouldn't have thought this is the case. It's immense. It's the WLTP range. With the 17-inch tires is 514 kilometers with this big battery. And when you have the 19-inch wheels, it's 454, 60 kilometers less WLTP range from jumping from 17 to 19-inch wheels. And the car that I have has winter tires on. I drove 130 kilometers an hour. My average speed was low, so I had to pass a lot of trucks. So I slowed down, drove behind a truck or something, had to accelerate a bit. This is all negative for the consumption. So I would say that the consumption alone went up by, let's say, 10 watt-hours per kilometer just because of this. Then it was 8 to 12 degrees, so, or 10 degrees, I can't even remember. So the heat had to do something. It showed me 1 kilowatt around that, I would say. The number that it showed, 26% for heating, is crap. I saw it today too. I drove a bit and it showed again a number that's so unrealistic. I was driving like a crazy person because today I wanted to drive fast. I drove the top speed of 179 on the Autobahn, and I was accelerating like crazy. Did an acceleration test. I have it here too. I can show you in a second. I have the draggy picture here, and so I was using a lot of power, and it still showed 30% heat usage. And so this is not correct. They need an update for this. Something is wrong here. It's not right. But you can see 60 kilometers less just with those 19-inch wheels, winter tires, colder temperature, heat needed, driving 130, and then having to accelerate a lot to, I would say, on the whole trip, I would say at least 20 to 30 times where I had to accelerate and pass a truck that was driving 90 and then accelerate back to 130. That happened a lot. But also, this happens in a lot of tests. This is not something out of the ordinary. So when I do my tests on a Sunday, it usually is a bit better, but you mostly can see it in the average speed. When my average speed is above 123, so 125 to 127, you know that I never had to, barely had ever to slow down. I could hold 130 kilometers an hour most of the time. If it's under that, that means I had to pass a lot of trucks that were holding me up, and it also means that at some point I was driving a bit faster, like I did with the Kona at around 140, but not for long, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes that I drove 140. So from 133 to 140. It wasn't that I was driving 180 then for 40 minutes. And I remember with the previous Kona, I did the range test at 130 in the summer. There was also a lot of traffic. My average speed was also very low, and I remember that I also drove faster, but even more. I drove 145 or something when there was a stretch where I could drive a bit faster, where there wasn't any trucks. I remember that. That was a big problem to get my average speed a bit up. It was way too low. And I still had amazing range and amazing consumption, even though those things happen. So I think that the wheels are a big problem. Don't ever get the 19-inch wheels. They shouldn't be on the market. I guess this is just a trend. They see that a lot of cars have 19-inch, 20-inch wheels, and people like that. That's why. But don't get it. You lose so much range. So I would say without those, how much percent is this? That is almost 12% less range because of 19-inch wheels instead of 17. And when I think that I had 251 watt-hours per kilometer, if I take 12% off, that would be then 220 watt-hours per kilometer. And then when it's summer, no, not winter, no heat and everything, we get under 200 watt-hours per kilometer. So I don't think the car is not that efficient anymore. I just think that with the configuration that I have the car in and where I drove it, that's what you can expect. So 19-inch wheels on a fast trip in the winter won't give you a lot of range. In 270 kilometers with a 65 kilowatt hour battery. But you also have to think, when I did my ID3 test with a 58 kilowatt hour battery, when it was new at 130, I got 290 kilometers or so, but it was in the summer. It was in September, but it was perfect weather. So in the winter, ID3 is then at 240 or so. So ID3 has way less range and is less efficient than the Kona, even with the 19-inch wheel. But that's my theory. I don't know if it's true. I just said it. I love the e-tron, love the silence and drive. Yes, it's not efficient, but the other thing is awesome. I'm afraid Q6 will be cheap compared. Q4 is already, I don't know, it's very MEB, and yeah, of all the test features you cover, what do viewers show most interest in? New cars. The newer the better. And Volkswagen, because I just did so many videos on Volkswagen. And if I get my own car, something like this. Interesting, because Tom was on the BMW Electronos during the employment of the BMW i3. Cool. I'm in Glasgow. I want to buy a new Kona EV. Should I go for a Skoda Enyaq? Well, those are completely different cars though. So Kona EV has a smaller battery, is smaller than the Enyaq. If you need more space, get the Enyaq. If you need unless you get the smaller battery. So if you get the Enyaq with the 77 kilowatt hour battery, I will go for that. But you should drive both and test it out. What is important to you? Is it range? Is it charging? Is it how it's driving? We talk about the Kona, how it's driving in a second when we're done here. We'll see. What is the lowest possible price for Neo EL6 with battery rent in Germany? I have no idea. You have to look it up. Go to neo.de and check it out. Yikes, that's a big efficiency hit for different wheels, tires. Yes. Enyaq much bigger. I love my 2020 pre-facelift Kona. Doesn't look anywhere near as good as the new one though. You can get a 3-year-old one for about 17k. Cool. Like having an ID4 first edition, you get version 3.2. Then as soon as the temp drops below 10 degrees, you get an alert: electrical system not working properly. Please service vehicle. Appointment in a month. Ugh. God, you got a really... we say a Sunday car in Germany. Is it normal? I can't believe that every car has that. It's just yours. Your car is just defected. You should give you a new one. Your real-world consumption test at Autobahn speed is useful. Very few car reviews measure highway consumption accurately. Thank you very much. I think so too. And now I started, since the BMW i7, I screw the 90 kilometers an hour range test. First of all, it takes too long. The batteries are getting bigger and bigger. Second of all, I don't know if it's just too much interest. I will do it with special cars that where the range is extremely important, but now I do 110 and 130. 130 for Germany and Austria, and 110 for the rest of Europe. Servus, Los Peter. Forums have others who have had new circulation pump will be replaced. Why is the circulation pump, why is that different than in Germany? So why does this happen in North America but now not here? I don't get it. Like, yeah, we already did the like game, already 71 likes here. Should we do another one? The people who didn't like so far, there are 112 people here, so 40 at least never pressed the like. You can press the like now. That helps the channel a lot. But let's go more into the Kona. So I got the Kona on Tuesday, like I said, and I drove it for a minute and I was extremely annoyed because it has, like the Ioniq 6, has the new system that the EU requires, and my ID7 will have that too, but it's implemented in a different way. Ioniq 6, when I drove it a year ago, I can't remember, was it this year? When did I drive the Ioniq 6? How about doing a 200 kilometers an hour consumption test in the real Nevera? I would love that. I wrote them an email if they want to have a real range test with the car, but I never got anything back. It's totally understandable. Why would they give me a $2 million car? Or, but I said I will go to them and do the test somewhere. Whatever, nobody said anything, and totally understandable. I have no problem with that. I get it. So the Ioniq 6, when I drove it, like I said, a year ago or whatever, don't remember, had the new EU system since, I don't know, is it this year, is it last year? When a new car comes, was busy following chat, was forgotten to like. When a new car comes out in the EU, it a few years ago was the, well, first came the pedestrian sound warning, that you can still switch off. Then a few years later it was you cannot turn it off anymore. It will always be on, the pedestrian warning sound. Then came the lane assist that has to be on every time the car drives, but you can still turn it off manually. But depending on the car, it's deep in a menu, or like in other cars, it's just one button. In the Kona, it's still the self-steering button, long press, and it will turn off lane assist. So that's awesome. But in the Ioniq 6, I saw it the first time, and like I said, then later I saw it in the ID7, the speed limit warning. And oh my God, this is annoying. And again, this is handled in Kona a bit different and in Ioniq 6 than in other cars. In the ID7 that I drove in Spain, we'll see if it will be as horrible as in the Kona and the Ioniq 6 in the ID7 when the production version comes out. But it works like this. Every time when the car detects a speed limit change, so warning from you drive on the country road and then it's 70, then it's 50, then it's 70 again, and then there's no speed limit anymore on this country road, so the normal speed limit. Every time you get a beep. Every time it's a doot, and it's the same beep as when you're charging, or back in the day when you put in iPedal and stuff like this. It's always it's the same beep all the time. So it's you're driving, there's a 70, beep. There's 50, beep. There's a 70 again, beep. And then there's no beep. So that's the beeping. And this is already annoying. But the worst thing is, if you drive too fast, and I'm not talking about 10 kilometers an hour more. I mean 1 kilometer an hour more. If you are in a 50 zone and you drive 51, the car will beep multiple times. Not one, it's being ding, ding, ding. Like you have the door open, or you drive without a seatbelt. It will not the whole time, just 3-4 times. Then when you continue driving that speed, it's over, it's fine. When you get under the speed limit, and you all manufacturers and the EU government know how much you love a good beep. Yes, they do. So when you go under the speed limit and accelerate again over the speed limit, it beeps again. The beeps made me strike the Hyundais off my wish list. Well, we're getting to that too. Wait a bit. But, so Ioniq 6 had that. Kona has that now too. It's freaking annoying. It bugs the crap out of you. But there's an easy way to turn that off. I found that. Kona has an amazing thing where you have a favorite button on the steering wheel and a favorite button on the infotainment system. You saw it in the video. So on my steering wheel, I have the EV, so I get into my charging window, my instant consumption, my battery preconditioning, and all of this. Car uses the map data. It's just total BS when it comes to the limits. Yeah, it does. The Kona right now and the Ioniq 6, I think, did it at the same time. They use what they see and speed changes from the map. As I could be wrong though. I take that back. Forget it. I don't know. So, and I put in the infotainment system favorite button, I put my assist system, I go in there, go into speed limit, and now, I don't know if you have seen, if I've mentioned this in the video of the Kona, in the speed limit in the Ioniq 6 were 3 settings that you can do. Turn it completely off, but it also means it doesn't recognize speed limit signs, so it doesn't show it in your cockpit and in your head-up display. Have it on with beeping, or have it on and adjust the speed when you are in cruise control. In the Kona now you have 4 settings. Have it on with the cruise control, have it on with beeping, have it completely off, or have it on but no warning. And it's amazing. You put that in and it's fine. The next thing where the Kona has something that the Ioniq 6 didn't even have is driver attention warning. So we knew that in the old Kona there was driver attention warning where there was a cup, coffee cup, maybe you should take a break. And it still exists, by the way. And I will talk about it in a second too, because it's also annoying and you can't turn it off. But there's also driver attention warning. Right in front of you is infrared sensors, and if you don't look into forward for 5 seconds or so or onto the screen, you get a warning, please pay attention to the road. But you can also turn that off, driver attention warning off, fine. So you turn the lane assist off, driver attention and the speed limit warning, and then you can drive the Kona very, very nicely. And from now on in the new Kona, it is when you turn on the car without having the seatbelt on, those 5 beeps are gone. The first Hyundai ever or Kia that has that. It just has one welcome sound like it always have. And you don't have the seatbelt on when you turn on the car. When you drive without the seatbelt, of course you get a seatbelt warning, but this is gone. When you start driving, I pedal or no regen, so level 0 cannot be on like it was in the Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6 too. But it doesn't beep when you put iPedal on. In the Ioniq 6, Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, when you put it into iPedal, you get a beep. You turn on cruise control, it turns iPedal off, you get a beep. You turn it back off, iPedal turns on, it beeps again. This is gone. It doesn't beep with iPedal. It doesn't beep when you turn the car on without a seatbelt. So this is awesome. They made that way, way better. I love it a lot. What did I say that I wanted to mention? The driver assist, also driver attention with the coffee cup. Yeah, this you cannot turn off anymore. When I leave my car, I get the Audi Hotbeat. Yeah, I get it too now in the e-tron. And the driver attention thing with the coffee, you cannot turn it off. It notices when you're yawning. So it's not when you're driving weird, it's when you're yawning. And the other day in the car, I was singing to a song and it also told me and it told me, hey, you should take a break. You're tired. Oh my God. So, but I couldn't find anywhere to turn that off. It's just in there. We did that. Then Kona features. New features in the car that are amazing. Or what's new overall. Bigger battery, 1 kilowatt hour more power, 160 kilowatt instead of 150, but it doesn't accelerate well anymore. Where the old Kona could accelerate around 7 seconds, 0 to 100, and when you floored it in sport mode, there was a lot of torque. That's why they had spinning wheels because of front wheel drive, when the asphalt was wet or when it wasn't perfect. Now the torque is extremely reduced. So today I did acceleration test with the Kona, with draggy, on a good strip in sport mode at 90%. I floored it and it was horrible. It doesn't feel good. It feels like the Megane E-Tech, not good. It could be way better. It was better, especially with the new power. They have reduced it immensely, so it doesn't have a wheel spin anymore, and you also don't have it just didn't like you singing or that. It doesn't have a torque steer. You don't feel that too much. And this was my, where are we? This is what Draghi measured today, 7.58 seconds. Hyundai themselves say it's, wait, go focus on it, not on my finger. Focus on the thing, there we are. Hyundai self says 7.8 seconds. It feels like that. The acceleration is not that amazing. It's really not great. Also, when you want to pass the car, even though it has 10 kilowatt more, it's the difference between eco, normal, and sport mode is barely. You don't feel it when you floor. I looked at the instant consumption. When you floor it in eco mode, you also get 160 kilowatt. Just how the power comes in is a bit slower, but not a lot. It's the same as in ID3 between comfort and sport. It's not a lot of difference. It's just the first second or so how the power gets into the car, and you don't get electric power. It's always boom. The acceleration is not good. It's not electric anymore. I think they went away from this. We keep it front wheel drive, but no spinning wheels anymore. That's how the power is. It's still faster than ID3. No, it's not. ID3 is under 7 seconds. I've measured it with 6.9 or around that, 7.0. No. Then drive mode is important. So when you first of all, when you switch the regen levels from 0 to 3, you feel it a bit while driving, but not as strong as the previous version. So that's awesome. Also, you switch the drive modes now in the middle, and you can switch. You don't go through with a button through. I don't like breaking my neck. It's slower than ID3. It is. So before you switch through, so you were in normal, then in sport, and then in eco. So from sport to eco, you always felt you were doing this because in sport mode, when you had the acceleration pedal, I don't know, at 10%, it meant this much power, and in eco it meant less power. So you felt a different acceleration even though you didn't move your foot, which was weird, and I never liked it. And no other car maker does that, by the way. So every car maker I ever drove, only Hyundai and Kia, when you go through the drive modes, you feel that change, and it's not nice. I don't like it. In the new Kona, it's not that much anymore. There is a bit of a jerk, but it's tiny. So when you go from eco to sport, there is a bit of a difference, but it's not big anymore. They did well on this, but maybe it's because they cut the torque so much. So we did that. Driving overall, it feels okay. As you will see in the video, I find the distance to the steering wheel way too long. You have to sit a bit more upright. The steering wheel could be more outside. That's a bit sad. I find the steering wheel, the steering itself, it doesn't matter what drive mode, a bit heavier than other cars. So I would have liked it a bit lighter. In the corner, it's not very nice. Kona in the corners doesn't feel good. ID3 is also not amazing, but feels a bit better in the corner. ID3, the suspension in the corner is fine. It's very comfortable, but it's a tiny bit too soft for cornering. It doesn't feel that good. Regen in iPedal is amazing, extremely strong. Today I saw 123 kilowatt regen with the front wheel motor there, and I saw the 160 kilowatt that it can to accelerate. So it works amazing, and it feels good. You can adjust it very well, like you always do. That's still great. How is the interior? Does it feel cheap? No, it does not, but it also doesn't feel like it's something better. But I'm the wrong person because I never had a problem with ID3 interior. I find the Kona interior fine. I have the maximum specs that you can have in a Kona with every extra possible. There are lots when you go through the list. It's not just where it was before. Even when you get the biggest package, you can still buy other things. And it can get up to 55,000 euros. And the leather seats that I have in the car are very slippery, even in the front. So especially in corners, you feel you're sliding around because the side support is not very good. So I wouldn't get those. I would get other seats than that. I don't see the point of those. What else is there? There's a lot of headroom in the front and a bit of headroom in the rear. It's still enough space. Legroom, like I said, is not a lot. I can't remember if it was, the door trims are really hard and plasticky, but isn't that normal? I think that's normal in that class. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, what else? Trunk opening is now electric. It takes a lot of time. It's really slow and it beeps opening and closing, even if you're right there. Audi e-tron Q8 in the outside, it doesn't beep opening or closing, and it does it extremely fast. On the key, you know that most cars, when you want to open the trunk, there's the unlock button for the trunk, and you have to hold it, and then it takes a bit, and then it opens up. Here, you have to press twice, and it does it instantly. So it's and it does it very fast. I love that, and no beeping, and a locking button on the trunk door as well. I love that. Kona doesn't have that, just closing. Yes, we did this. Then I did the lights in the morning. I haven't filmed them. The lights are good as always, LED lights. The high beams are no pixel or anything, no segments. It's full high beams on or full high beam off if you use the high beam assist, but it still works great as it did in the old cars. Even in the first electric version, it was fine. The Q8 should have the boot foot sensor. Yeah, it should have. Most cars have that now. That's no problem. The Kona doesn't have that, but if you stand, it's the same with the Kia EV6, if you stand with the key behind it for a few seconds, it will open automatically. But you can turn it off. No, Darren has an Audi e-tron GT now. He had the Mercedes before. He's changing cars like other people change phones. But awesome. The sound system is okay. I would say like the ID3, not very bassy, not a lot of power, but it's fine. Kona rear seat front edge, how high above floor? I have no idea. Sorry. I didn't test that. It's long gone, Mark. Yeah, that's a long time. Was it a year ago or so, the Model Y? No, it wasn't that long ago. Half a year, something like this. Yeah, we did that. Then lights, we did that. Head-up display is now, we have seen it in my video, is now not anymore on the little glass thing that comes up. It's now on the normal windshield like it is in other cars. So that's awesome. And it looks great. Not too much information, but enough. There's navigation in there, there's a blind spot warning, your speed, your cruise control, your self-steering assistant, everything is all in there. Awesome, the head-up display is really good. It's on par with most other head-up displays, but there's no augmented reality part, and also not in the screen or anywhere. That's not in the Kona at all. We did that. Then instrument cluster is now a bit different. You can set it to 2 themes. In my video, I said in the range test that there is no digital speedometer. That's wrong. It is. I put a text in, but some people haven't seen that. So there is a digital speedometer if you switch the view. So there's 2 views, simple and normal, I think. And in the normal, you don't have it. In simple, you have a digital speedometer. And then you can change the color of the rings from according to the drive mode or green, blue or red. You can select one of those. That's all you can do. In the middle of the cockpit, you have now less features that you had before. In the old Kona, there were thousands of features. That's not in there anymore. You have 3 trips. The from start trip again does reset every time you, I think it does still reset every time you start the car, or just a minute or so. I don't even know now. And then since recharging, and one that you can reset yourself, you have your tire pressure in there, then you have your compass and navigation, don't have the map in there, and the last is, what was the last? The assist system, so you can see the distance to the next car, and that's it. That's all what you can have in the instrument cluster. The new infotainment system is way better than Ioniq 5, Kona before, Kia EV6. It's the best infotainment system that Hyundai and Kia ever had when it comes to how you interact with the screen. The map is still pretty slow, so when you move around, it's the same laggy, wouldn't say laggy, but it takes a bit. I have a Volkswagen Group car now, so I'm expecting a lot of problems. So and you still have that thing when you press at something, it tells you that's 10 kilometers away or so. So the map is not that much better. You can now see when you navigate, you've seen it in the video, your state of charge. If you press on the full route, you then can see it in the normal view. That's a bit sad. That's also was weird in the BMW iX1. In the i7, the same infotainment system. In the i7, when I put in, I'm gonna go to Dresden, it tells me you will arrive with 3%. In the iX1, it just told me the time and the kilometers, and I had to go to different settings to see the state of charge at arrival. I don't know why they did that, why it's not the same for every car, but they did that. But the rest of the Kona infotainment system is really awesome. You have a fixed screen, you can move around things, but you cannot add or delete something. But you have your map, your music, and then EV, and then the next page is other stuff, weather and sports and setup. I love that there's still physical buttons for home, map, media, setup. So when you want to go to the setup, there's a button there. I love that. You don't have to find it on the screen on what page and go in. It's awesome. Same with the climate. Every climate setting that you need, that you have, is as a button. It's not in the infotainment system. In the infotainment system, you cannot do anything with the climate except that you can say in eco mode the climate should be reduced. Other than that, everything is underneath with all the buttons, and then underneath this you have an extra physical button for seat heating, seat ventilation, steering wheel heater, not just on and off, auto hold. What else was there? Parking sensors. I don't know. Parking cameras. The parking cameras you can turn on while driving, the rear and the front, or each individual. That's nice. I would never use that, but it's nice that you can do that. Infotainment system overall, like I said, you go in there and you don't have all those hundreds of buttons that you had before in the Ioniq 5, 6 and so. No, it's just a few things. You have 3 pages where the first page only has 3 things, the next page has 5 or 6, and the last just 2 or so, or a bit more. I can't remember. It's not a lot. And when you go in there, then you have all your settings, and you can see it either all at the same time, or when you go into one, it's underneath each other, and you can just go to the next point. So it's not in 300 menus. It's really well done. And every time you can go back or to home, or you have a physical home button. Also amazing. The new EV screen is the best EV screen I have ever seen. In the left you have your state of charge, you see your charging limit, then you see your history of charging. Again, you cannot edit that. Then you have your settings if you want to unlock the charging cable when you're done. You cannot stop charging in the car. That's a bit stupid. You can do it at the charge plug. There's a button, and if you hold that for a few seconds, it will stop charging. But the car has to be turned off. When the ignition is on, it doesn't work. So that's stupid that not in the car you cannot stop charging. I don't know why, but they did it like this. It's a bit sad. Then underneath you have battery preconditioning. So when you go into EV, there's right there. So EV was in my car, in this car, not mine, is on the favorite button on the steering wheel. You get into EV, and right there is the activation button for preheating the battery. It also has the preheating the battery when you're navigating to a charger, but it works really weird. So overall, when you start the preheating process, you press activate, and then you look at the instant consumption. Battery care doesn't do anything for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, it then starts preheating. So when you turn that on, it doesn't do anything for 2 minutes. I don't know why, but it does it. In the instrument cluster cockpit, you then see instantly, even when it's not doing anything, that the battery symbol has then a heater on. So it's doing, it thinks that it's on, but it's not, because I can see battery care says 0 kilowatt. And after 2 minutes, it starts. The peak that I've seen was 5.4 kilowatt that it's charging, heating up the battery. And the amazing thing is that I've posted the other day, you can start it via the app. Here is the remote of the app. Come on, not on my finger. It always focuses on my finger. My vocal length is so. And here is start, where are we? Start preconditioning and stop preconditioning. The car is at work. I could start the preconditioning of the battery right now. That's something that Tesla has, but what other car maker has that? That's very, very rare to have that. And it even shows you in the app, hey, your battery is pretty cold. And then you can change that too. So you can preheat that, and you can stop preheating if you want to. That's really amazing. What else? Yes, it's the navigation thing. On the other day, so it tells you the battery temperature, not in a number. It says low, acceptable, or I'm guessing hot at some point. I never had that. And in when you press the preconditioning, it does it, even though when it says it's acceptable. And what I've noticed, when I navigate to a charger, the other day it said low, but it didn't preheat the battery at all. It didn't do anything, and I was waiting, and then 2 minutes before I was at the charger, it went on. So the button was suddenly on. I got a message, preheating of the battery has started. And then again, the button is on, but it doesn't do anything for 2 minutes. So it was at the charger already when it started to really preheat the battery. And I was a bit, that's weird. That's really weird. So we did this, and then we have the new instant consumption view that is awesome. It's smaller, but it looks better, and it's right there in front when you go into the EV menu. It's right there. It shows you your instant consumption in kilowatt of your driving, the climate, electronics, so your screens, your fan, and so on, seat heating, and battery care. And for whatever reason, it shows you the kilowatt, and it shows you percentage of your drive, how much was driving, how much was climate. And you've seen it in my consumption video, the range video. It's a weird number. So I was drawing 25 kilowatt from the motor for 2 hours, and the heating was at 1 kilowatt, maybe 1.5 sometimes, but also 0 sometimes. And at the end, it showed 25% of the drive was heating. And it's just not true. It's just stupid. So maybe then it needs an update on this, but fine. Then charging. AC charging, 11 kilowatt, works perfectly. Did it already. Works nicely. But it takes a lot of time. I don't know why. Today I plugged it in at 30%. So how much does it have to charge to 100%? Let's say 70% of 65 kilowatt. It would be 45 kilowatt divided by 11 kilowatt, should be 4.5 hours, let's say. So if it could charge with 11 kilowatt till it's full. I plugged it in and it said 7 hours. So I'm guessing that above 90% it cannot even charge with 11 kilowatt or something. I don't know. And it was even at a triple charger, so not at home. So a charger they could do even 20 or 40 kilowatt. I think it was 20. But the AC charging is a bit slower than I would hope. You will the BMW iX1 was the weirdest one. 65 kilowatt hour battery. You plug it in, it can charge with 11 kilowatt, and the whole time I have seen 11 kilowatt, 7 kilowatt, 11 kilowatt, 7 kilowatt. It always switched between those two numbers. For whatever reason, maybe there was something wrong with the car, and charging it with AC took 10-12 hours. Like it was charging with 4 kilowatt or so. It was really weird. There was something wrong. DC charging was fine with the iX1. Yeah, the videos are coming. I just didn't get to publishing them because I need a bit because at some point I don't have a press car. After the Q8, I won't have a press car for 3 weeks. Where I'm hoping that the i7 will come, ID7, but I doubt it. And then I get the Kia EV6 GT and then MG4, and then there's no car till end of January, Ioniq 6 then. So it's not the cars I had so many cars this year will be a bit less around Christmas, which is fine. I need some break anyway. Calm down, especially when the ID7 is coming. I don't need a press car, I need time for this car. Then DC charging. I have charged DC on a few chargers and did my charging test. There will be a video comparing it to the old Kona. I haven't done that video yet. I just filmed the charging curve. What I have noticed, I plugged it in at 7%. I got around 90 kilowatt and it went up slowly to around 104 kilowatt was the peak. And it goes up to, I have to look, I can't remember. Was it 60 something kilowatt? Let's go and look. Charge video. Where are we? So you can see too. I'm so nice in showing you the charging video. I had to film it in the car because Ionity didn't work. And this hypercharger doesn't keep it. So I had to film it in the car where it shows the kilowatt. I don't see the voltage in the amp and the time I have to get with the frame rate. I did a time lapse, and this is, by the way, the sensor that shows that you're not paying attention. But I plugged in at 7%, got 89 kilowatt right away, 91, and it goes slowly up. Where is the, like I said, to 104, goes up to, there was it. There it was, 63%, I think. 64, and then it goes down to 79%, and then at 69 it goes down to 48 kilowatt, not percent, 48 kilowatt, and then there's another thing, isn't it at 80%? I thought it went down again, or I stopped at 80%. I think this is not 40 kilowatt even. And then above 80 kilowatt, it will go down even more. 38, it slowly goes down around there. So it's a better charging curve to 63%, and then it's, yeah, we'll see. But I have to compare it to the old Kona and then see how much more power goes in. I don't know the kilowatt hours again. I have to calculate them then. We'll see. But I do it more with state of charge. It's almost the same battery. Let's look what you guys have said. I have not read. I talked for a long time. I like the car brewing me a coffee. Lane assist is useless in my gun. Hope it eventually gets better. No, turn it off. It's a safety mechanism. It's not to assist you for driving. If it's in the way and makes your driving dangerous, turn it off. If it helps you, turn it, leave it on. Does it remember these settings? Do you have to set them every time? You have to set them every time. It doesn't even remember your drive mode. When you drive in eco mode and restart the car, you're in normal again. It doesn't remember your turning off driver attention warning, or every time you turn on the car. It doesn't even have to be locked. So when you stop for charge and when you stop, turn off the car, turn it back on, all those things are on again. Good to hear about the beep disable function. Can you disable the welcome tone? No, that is so You cannot turn it off. There is another thing that you could turn off. You can turn on the volume, I think, but it still does something. Hyundai have limited the initial torque of the motor from a standstill. Yes, they did. Quicker. I had an EQC 400 driver try to beat me off the lights. He didn't. EQC, it's a gigantic car. And how is the interior feel sleep? We did that. EQS has 700 Newton meter or something. EQC has 561. The door trims are really hard and plasticky. No, I drive the 38 kilowatt hour Ioniq and it has a lot of soft plastic on it, so they went down with the quality, I think. Really? How is the sound system? We did Kona rear seat, front edge. How we did that. Been a while. I have a Volkswagen Group. We did that. Is the light fine? Does the car dims down at the right time on oncoming traffic? Yeah, it does, but it always did. I think that always worked really well at the Kona. Buttons are good. The I-Pace has a good blend of buttons and screen. Curious when I-Pace 2 will come out. We'll see. New Kona looks like they built the car, then realized they forgot to fit rear lights. I'm expecting you to make an in-depth Q8 infotainment video so you can learn how to use it. There's not a lot to do. The Q8 has a few settings. It's not that much, I have to say. It has to boot the preheating OS for 2 minutes. The Q8? Oh. The lock unlock button, if only we had it on IDs. What is lock unlock? Oh, in the app. Oh yes, that's true. Is preheating coming to the ID7 ME 4.0 cars? Yes, it is. Every ID car with the new hardware and ID software 4.0. So ID7, ID4, 5, ID bus at some point. And then at some point ID3 with the new screen and the new hardware will get preheating with a button where it even shows you what your maximum power at a charger will be, or navigating to a charger, but you can turn that off as well. It sounds like the only downside of the Kona is the suspension, so changing the sporty suspension coilover might fix that. If you like a sporty ride, you can change that, but I was okay with it. So I don't need to go fast into a corner. It doesn't feel very nice. It doesn't feel sporty, but it's also not supposed to be a sporty car. The previous version were way sportier, way faster, more acceleration, felt a bit more fun. This feels really tamed. I doubt I-Pace 5 will happen. When I start preconditioning with the app, it says it's failed, but the heating in the car has come on anyway. Yeah, that's Volkswagen Group. we know that. That's yeah. Yeah, preheating, starting and everything works with the app really nice. It doesn't work right away sometimes. What happened to my press car? Got this after unplugging of the charging preheat. What's the problem here? The 408 kilometers of range? The weird line and turtle mode? Oh no, I had that in a Volvo once. This is when I had it once. I had a Volvo XC40, charged it for 10 minutes at around 150 kilowatt at Ionity, then started to drive, and then the power got less and less and less, and then it had to cool down, and then the power came back. I told the press team and they said yes, they're working on it. Is this something that happened? Lars Peter just wrote me on Instagram. Yeah, you should follow me on Instagram. Who's not following me? I only have 400 followers on Instagram. I mean, what the hell? I'm posting pictures all over. 431 followers and 480 posts. It's Battery Life 1. Follow me. Battery Life 1 on Instagram. I post pictures the same as I do it on YouTube. Sometimes a bit more. That happens. We have 94 people here and 94 likes. Can we get the last 6 likes? That would be amazing. 5. We had 95 likes. Can we get 5 more likes? 5. Idiot. What's Instagram? What? Who's saying the same thing? What is this gram that you're talking about? I have no idea. Yeah, you don't know. It's the only thing I use because it's just pictures, sometimes videos, but I don't have to see that. It's a shame that Chinese automakers are passing European OEMs recording software and quality in general for EVs. I disagree fully. I have driven a few Chinese car makers and they have software problems big time, and sometimes worse problems. They have they're horrible when it comes to climate, when it comes to temperature. I had the Neo ET5, I drove the MG Marvel R, the MG4, the MG5, the MG ZSEV, and the software was never good. It was either it was weird, it didn't work as expected, or the features were very, very limited. The worst was the Marvel R, but I have been told by a few people on the video that they have fixed that because it was unusable at that time. 103 likes, we did it! Woohoo! Thank you very much. For Viper Snappers? I don't know what it is. Is this Instagram a dating site for all women? Yes, Instagram. You did it. Command access software is unbearable in Xpeng G9. That happens. I haven't driven the car yet. Ooh, I see you. I already follow you. Yes, you do, Photostorm. I know that. It's 100% but massive power reduction. Happened right after disconnect. Yeah, I had that with the what's the name? With the Volvo XC40 once in the summer, when after I was charging it, the battery was too hot, it couldn't cool it in time. I had that. Okay, I think that's it for today. You can expect BMW iX1, BMW i7 and Hyundai Kona videos coming in the next 2 weeks, and then Kia EV9. There will be posts on Instagram. I don't post them on YouTube because every time when I post something on YouTube that I'm traveling somewhere, I get negative things with what you fly and what and stuff like this. Well, this is how it works. They want to show off a car, they invite people and they want to do it at a nice place. And then also the footage of these videos looks better than in rainy, snowy Germany. That's why they do this, and this is all marketing, advertising and stuff. Yes, I said it. But I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for being here. Was a nice chat. I talked a lot about the Kona. You got all the insights. Videos will be coming so you can see the stuff. No, I'm not on TikTok. I never had even the app TikTok. I think this is, when I see Instagram is already too much, I think TikTok is just, I'm too old for this. I say that a lot. But that's it for me. Thank you all. Have a nice week. Bye bye bye. That was a nice